guys, if you're looking to run highly profitable Facebook ads, then you need to settle down, grab something to make notes on, and keep watching.
We're about to hand over to our awesome Facebook ads manager, Alison Christie, who's gonna go do a deep dive into Facebook ads.
Alison, let's do this.
Hi there, I'm Alison Christie and I'm a Facebook ads manager. In this video, I'm going to take you step by step through setting up a Facebook ad campaign to grow your email list. We'll look at the type of campaign and the budget to use, and I'll give you some tips on how to write your ads and how to pick your images for your ads. Let's get started. We're going to use Sally as an example. Here's where Sally is at. She wants to be seen by more people, grow her audience, build her reputation. She has a website, she has a lead magnet, she has 250 email subscribers, so she has some. She posts regularly to Facebook and Instagram, and she has tried some Facebook ads, but she hasn't achieved consistent results. So what we're going to do is we're going to run ads to Sally's lead magnet landing page, and we're going to reach new people, get visitors to Sally's landing page, and we're going to get those signups. First thing is we want to make sure Sally's lead magnet is something that people are actually looking for. Is Sally talking about it in her posts on her social? Is she already telling her email list about it? Is she asking people in her business network if this is something that is of interest to them? Is she asking customers? She has to keep talking about it, share what other people think of it, get those testimonials, and adjust and refine it until we know that Sally's lead magnet is converting well. It's kind of a waste of money to run ads until you know your lead magnet converts well without paying for ads. We're going to assume Sally's tested and everything is working fine with her ads. And then we're going to talk about setting up our ad campaign. Now there are 3 stages in every Facebook ad campaign. They are the campaign, the ad set, and the ads themselves. The campaign is where we set our objective, so the ultimate action we want to happen as a result of our ads. The ad set is where we decide which audience we're sending the ad to. We also decide if we're placing it on Facebook or Instagram or both, and we can set budget either at campaign or ad set level. And the ads themselves, of course, that's the ad copy, the writing, the images, what people see when they see your ad first of all. So we're going to build out conversion ads for Sally. Why? Because we're asking Facebook to find people in Sally's audience who will convert into something. So a specific action. Now I'm just going to pause here for a second just to talk about some changes that are happening in Facebook ads and different permission settings that you might need to set up if you have a business manager and you haven't been in for a while. You'll probably need to go to the resource center in your ads manager and follow some steps in there to set up some new actions so that people can be tracked in the future as Apple's iOS 14 comes out, which affects how people can opt in or opt out of you being able to track them through the Pixel in future. Now, one other option when we're picking our objective, when we're setting up our ad, is toggling this button on or off. So in this example, we're going to keep our campaign budget optimization switched off, and you do that at your campaign level. And that's because we're only running one ad set, and if we had multiple ad sets, we might want to switch it on so that the budget can move between different ad sets depending on how people are responding to our ads on any given day. Next, we're going to move on to our ad set. We're going to pick our audience, where we want our ads to be shown, and our budget. Now first we're asked, what conversion event are we optimizing for? It's a website event and it's complete registration. That's what we're going to select. Now we're using a standard event rather than a custom event that we create ourselves in this example. And we're also asking Facebook to find people who were most likely to complete registration and sign up for the opt-in. Next, we're going to look at our audience. Now again, testing is everything in ads. There are no guarantees about how any audience will perform, but we have a few options. And I always suggest you start with the option that makes the most sense for how people interact with you and your business already. Because Sally has an email list, it might make sense for us to build out a lookalike audience and try that first. We would start with her email subscribers, create a lookalike audience of them, so people who've got similar characteristics, and then run an ad to that audience. We could also create an interest-based audience, and of course for Sally it would make sense to be looking to build an audience of photography business owners, because they're all going to be interested hopefully in her opt-in. Now for your audiences, it may make sense for you to set age group settings or a location, for example, depending on your business. Generally though, give Facebook more of an audience to search through and find the right people within it. Audience size, again, something that we would test, but here I'd probably be aiming for an audience of 500,000 to 1 million. It can be big. And of course I'd also want to exclude people in our audience who've already signed up to the lead magnet. Now why do we want to think about a large audience? Well, you want a large enough audience to give you a chance of actually winning those auctions. And a larger audience gives Facebook the freedom to serve the ads to the people on the right device at the right time that they're most likely to take action. And also if you start with a bigger audience, it gives you enough of an audience to then get people to click on your ad, and of course retarget in future the people who clicked on your ad or who viewed your landing page but who didn't sign up for the opt-in. If you need to limit by location or age group, of course that is okay. Just try not to restrict your audience too much. In this example here you can see a potential reach of this audience is over 1 million people, but we might only convert under 10 in each day because our budget is limiting how many people we're going to be able to reach with our ads. Essentially, don't be scared by an audience that seems too big, because what it actually means in terms of who you might reach is most likely smaller numbers than you'd expect. Now, ad placement, that is where your ads can be shown. They can be shown on Facebook, Instagram, in news feeds, on stories, in Audience Network, on other websites outside of Facebook or Instagram. But in this example, I'm going to keep automatic placements. I'm not going to switch to manual placements and start splitting them out. Now, I might test ads on feeds versus stories, Instagram versus Facebook, etc. But it can mean running multiple ad sets. And of course, multiple ad sets mean more budget per ad set. So in this example, we're just going to keep it simple and automatic placements and let Facebook decide where to serve the ads out. And just to give you an example of how automatic placements work, so I might be on Facebook in the mornings scrolling through news feeds, but I'm not likely to sign up for an opt-in at that time of day. I might be on Instagram in the evenings scrolling through news feeds and much more likely to sign up to an opt-in at that time of day. Leaving automatic placements on gives Facebook the freedom to use that information that it knows about me as a user and when I'm most likely to opt into something, and serve me that ad at the right time when it knows that is the time that I'm most likely to sign up to something. So the third part of our ad setup is of course our budget. Now here I'm going with a budget of £10 or $10 per day per ad set. And why is that? Well, I'm starting here because that gives Facebook some money to work with, some money for me to win the right auctions, and some money for testing my ads to see if they actually deliver. You of course need to decide how much an email subscriber is worth to you and your business in the future, and ultimately of course you want your perfect customer to see your ads, and that won't happen if your budget is too low, because you just won't win auctions to get them shown in people's feeds. Now, it's also important to say that yes, you can run ads on less of a budget than £10, $10 per day. If you want to test them and really give them a chance of working, then that I think is where your bottom line should be and where you start from. Okay, so let's move on to our ads themselves. Now we have to think about the ad copy, what we're going to write, the images or video that we're using, and we also have a third option, which is existing posts. Now we've set out one ad set at £10 per day, but we could add 2 or 3 ads on that same budget. It doesn't mean we have to run just one ad on that budget. So when it comes to writing your copy for your ad, it's really helpful to think positive solutions in your copy. Facebook doesn't want people to see negative, dragging down type copy in their posts. They want uplifting content. So if you're trying to think of positive copy, it's a good idea to talk about the result that your lead magnet delivers. What's the happy end and the solution, the answer to the problems that your opt-in is helping with, or even just the good feeling that someone has when your solution or your opt-in is working for them, or less stress, or getting some answers, all those kind of things. And try a couple of options, try a couple of different lengths of copy. Try really short copy, just a couple of sentences if you can. Try longer copy, maybe 2 or 3 paragraphs. See how your audience respond to each of those, and that gives you a better idea as to what kind of ads will work best for your audience. Of course, you can add a testimonial into your copy, or you can make that into an image, and that can work really well in ads as well. And it's important to remember what the purpose of the ad is. It's to get someone to the next stage. So you want your ad to be encouraging enough so that someone wants to click on it and land on your website and land on that email sign up. I've mocked up an ad here just to give you an example. Probably in real life I would have made this image bigger, brighter, bolder, etc. to make it stand out a bit more, and just added in some copy here, a kind of a fake testimonial, because that can work good in ads as well. A few more tips when it comes to creating your actual ads. One is to increase the brightness or contrast on the ad images, just to make them pop that little bit more as people are scrolling through their news feed. Try and use bright colours if you can. Images of real people rather than stock photos work best. Now, I obviously have a stock photo, we have an imaginary Sally here, but for you and your business, use yourself, and don't feel your photos have to be really polished or really professional. Just natural photos sometimes can work amazingly well. Use some emojis in your post, but don't use too many, and don't use too many stars. If you try and add something like this with lots of stars, it can look like you're trying to say something has a 5-star rating, and ads have been rejected for that kind of use of emojis. And also be careful when you're using them, not to use them as bullet points, for example. If someone is visually impaired and using a screen reader, they can really muck up what they are hearing as they're trying to understand the copy and the context of your ad. Now, when it comes to a lead magnet, good buttons to choose for people to click on or download or learn more, always good options to try. Of course, again, testing is always key, so you can test different buttons and see which ones people respond best to. Now, one of my favourite tips, and something that I'll use very often, is to post on your socials about your lead magnet first of all. People are going to like and comment on your post just naturally, because that's what they do if you are already posting regularly. You can then choose to run that post as an ad, and it can work really well for you because you already have some social proof on that post. So people have already liked and commented on it, and that will pull through to the post when it's run as an ad. Again, you want enough detail to get people to click on the link and move to the landing page. That is all you need, so keep your ad simple. You don't have to say your PDF or your download has 20 pages and it does 50 things and it has a bonus of this and it has added extras of this. You just want it to be, you need this because it'll answer all your questions, and then all of that detail can be on your landing page. Okay, so we've set up Sally's ads. Now let's assume they've been running for a couple of weeks. We've got some stats in Ads Manager, we can see lots of figures, so let's just try and figure out what they mean a little bit more. I've just said we've had Sally's ad running for a couple of weeks, but I'm going to bet that when you first start running ads that you're going to want to start fiddling with them really soon, and you're not going to let them run out and then just settle down for a bit. You really should do that. Try not to fiddle with them or touch them until they've had good 72 hours in which to feed out, or they've reached 3,000 people, for example. Just sit on your hands, try not to interfere with them and play with them, because every time you do, or every time you change something, you pop your ads back into the learning phases, and then you're just asking the algorithm to learn all over again who to serve your ads to. So when we're thinking about the results in your ads, we're thinking first of all about your link click-through rate. So that's the click-through rate of people who are going to your landing page. Anything over 1% to this cold audience that we're serving Sally's ad to is good. Anything under that is usually a signal that your ad itself isn't grabbing people's attention. They're scrolling on their phones or iPads and they're not catching their eye. So try new ad creatives, new images, or try new ad copy. Now, another thing to watch when you're running this kind of ad is looking at the frequency. So that is how often somebody is seeing your ad in their feed. If your ad audience is fairly small, then that frequency can creep up fast. If your audience is much larger, of course, there's much more people for Facebook to pick from, so it's likely to stay low for a lot longer. For something like a lead magnet, I would probably be aiming to keep the frequency under 4, just because you don't want people to keep seeing that same ad over and over again. If they're not going to engage with it, then that's fine. You don't want them to keep seeing it, because the chances are, after they've seen it a good few times, they're going to want to hide your ad, and that is a bad signal for your ad quality. So cost per link click, that's another stat you'll find in your ads manager. Now £1 or under is good, but of course it's always up to you to decide how much you're happy to pay for a sign up to your lead magnet, how much you're happy to pay for a link click cost as well. Now, if all of your Facebook stats are looking good, people are visiting your landing page, you have a good percentage of people clicking through, but they're still not signing up, then that's a signal that your landing page is what needs attention. Is your website loading slow? Is the sign up process complicated or more complicated than it needs to be? Is it easy to sign up on mobile? All those kind of issues. See if you can iron out anything there, and then see if your landing page sign-ups improve. And of course, if that doesn't make a difference, then you might need to change the language or the copy, or have bigger call to actions, etc. on your landing page. So even though your ads are performing well and getting people there, of course, then that gives you more information than you would have if you were just sending people there organically, because you know there is a good click-through rate. Then you know your next step is to look at refining that landing page a little bit more. Once you start running these ads, of course, you're going to always be keeping an eye on your stats and how they're performing, or trying new things, testing out different types of images, videos, different copy, etc., and find what's a really good performing ad for you. It all takes time and it all takes testing. That is perfectly normal and a consistent part of running Facebook ads.
Thanks so much for watching, guys, and a big extra special thank you to Alison. Thanks so much for doing that for us. How awesome was that, guys? We've linked to Alison below in the comments, so if you want to go follow her, you want to go check out what she does for businesses like yours, businesses like ours, then check her out. We've put all the links in the comments. Also, if you have any questions about any of that, then drop those in the comments too.
We've put some more links to videos about Facebook and Facebook ads in the description below, so check them out. And whilst you're down there, hit that big subscribe button. We'd love to have you subscribe into our videos where we help you grow as a small business owner and help you create predictable, scalable, ever-growing income.
Thanks so much for watching, guys. I've been Andrew.
I've been Pete.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.